Yes, Mr. Moss.
So our first witness this morning is Joseph Wheeler, please.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wheeler. Have a seat. And please remember to keep your voice up. Sorry. Thank you very much.
Mr. Wheeler, to start, if you would, by giving us your full name.
It's Joseph James Wheeler.
Thank you. Can we have on the screen, please, KWAW, and then I think it's 506. And can you just confirm that this is the statement that you've provided to this inquiry, which, as we can see, you provided on the 10th of August of this year?
That's correct.
And are the contents of that statement, Mr. Wheeler, true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
They are, yes.
Mr. Wheeler, the inquiry, in order to get that statement from you, sent you a formal request under the inquiry rules, and I should acknowledge that you provided this statement cooperatively and in very good time. Thank you for that. Can we also have on the screen, please, MERP 001253. And can you just confirm for us that this is the earlier witness statement that you provided on the 4th of October to Merseyside Police?
Yes, it is.
And we can see that when you provided that statement, you signed it with the standard declaration for this type of statement, saying that it was true to the best of your knowledge and belief also.
That's correct, yeah.
Thank you. If we go back to your statement to this inquiry, KWAW 506, just tell us a little bit about your role. I think you're the Managing Director of Artemis Web Limited, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
And how long have you held that position?
It's 15 years.
And Knife Warehouse is the name we see on the web. Is that a trading name of Artemis Web Limited?
Yes, that's the website name.
Yeah, just keep your voice up. And what are your responsibilities for Knife Warehouse?
Well, I suppose all of them as the director. Marketing.
You're in charge on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, I am.
Give us an idea of the size of the company. How many people are employed? Is it just you? Are there others?
There's just a small team of 3.
And where are you physically based?
In Leighton Buzzard.
And what types of products, just give us the overview, what type of products generally are sold on the Knife Warehouse site?
Lots of pocket knives, bushcraft knives, and throwing knives have become very popular, and throwing axes.
And how do you choose, how do you select what products to stock?
Really just what the suppliers have. We were just trying to be broad and cover everyone's knife requirements, I suppose. But now that's changed.
Thank you. Mr. Wheeler, would you forgive me for this? You're very kindly positioned in a way that you're facing the chair, but if you pull your chair in a little bit and speak into the microphones, we'll probably pick you up just a little bit better. And the chair won't mind if you face towards the microphones when you give your answers. Thank you very much. So generally, suppliers may recommend what new products to you, and you'll see whether you think it's appropriate for your company.
Yes, but as the laws change, we've been cutting back different ones. Now we've stopped the machetes. I know there was 2 left on the website, but they're out of stock. They shouldn't be visible.
Right, well, I'll come back to that. In terms of where you source your stock from, again, I just want to get the general understanding. How many sort of different suppliers do you stock products from?
There's 2 from America, a couple from China. There's several British suppliers, and we have sourced from Finland and Italy and Spain in the past.
I follow. And you've mentioned that you have to change things and take things out of stock as the law changes. Would you agree that in recent years the law in relation to knives, bladed weapons, has changed quite frequently?
It has, yes, yeah.
Have you been able, do you think, to keep up with those changes, or has that been a struggle?
No, not really. When a law's been announced, it normally takes a long time to come through, but as soon as it is announced, we stop selling them maybe a year before they've actually been banned.
Thank you. Do you get a lead-in time before the change in the law comes into effect, so you're put on notice and you have some time to make adjustments?
Yes, yes. Sometimes quite a long time.
Thank you. You will understand that the context in which you're called to give evidence is that a machete that was sold by Knife Warehouse was delivered to AR's home address. And because of that, I want to ask you first about the mechanics of placing an order on the Knife Warehouse site. So can we look at that? A customer would add the product from the website into a basket, a shopping basket, in the usual way, presumably?
Yeah, just like any normal website.
Yeah. And they fill out their details, payment method, and so on. If we could have on the screen KWAW 503, please. Is it right that once they have done that, your website at the time, in 2023, made clear we're legally required to verify your age, all customers must be age 18 or over, and to enable us to process your order the first time you purchase from us, please upload a form of identification. Yes?
That's correct.
So we should recognise that at the time of AR's order with you, you did have a fairly prominent, on your website, statement of the need for customers to be 18 or older. Would you agree?
I do agree.
And you required them to upload identification, driving license or passport. Did you accept others forms of identification?
A pass card, you know what they are?
A pass card for what sort of thing?
It's called PASS,
Yep.
to prove someone's over 18.
Proof of age. Thank you. Thank you. What happened if the customer didn't provide a proof of age and identification at that stage?
They get an SMS message and an email requesting ID. And if we don't get anything back within a couple of days, we cancel the order.
Thank you. I think you said in paragraph 6 of your statement, if the goods are never shipped until after proof of age has been provided, and if it's not provided, the user will be refunded and their account blocked. Was that right in 2023?
Yes. Every user account, we have verified yes or no. If we click it no, then it's blocked.
How would they be blocked? Would you be blocked from somebody using the same email or the same address?
Yeah, on WorldPay, the payment processing, you can block by IP address or email.
And which did you do? By IP address or by email or both?
I didn't block this one.
No, but just in general terms. I'm not yet asking about AR, but in general terms, if somebody didn't provide the verification, on the face of things, it sounds like a robust thing to do, to block them. And I'm just asking how you went about that with people generally.
In general, it would be the email.
Thank you. Now, when it came to the age verification, we've seen that they had to put identification in. Would you agree that because many of the items sold by Knife Warehouse are potentially lethal weapons, as well as their appropriate uses, they are capable of causing significant harm to people. It's obvious, isn't it?
Well, there's potential.
Yeah. And so would you agree that quite apart from the legal requirements, which we'll come on to, that potential for harm requires a very careful approach to be taken to the online sale of such items?
Yes, I agree.
And in particular, there's a risk, isn't there, of those under 18 trying to use online retailers to buy knives when they might find it difficult to do in a physical store.
Yes, but when the age-verified delivery came in, the amount of under 18s attempting reduced dramatically because they knew that they'd be ID'd on the doorstep as well, just like in a shop. So that played a massive part.
So your experience was that that was a positive change because you found fewer under 18s trying to buy items once they knew it would be age verified on delivery?
Yeah, that really reduced it a lot. We used to get a lot of quite badly made fake IDs coming and people using specimens from the internet. Very easy to spot, but they give it a go, but then it seemed to stop.
Given the potential harms in the business in which you were engaged and still are engaged, can I ask you this? Other than the specific criminal law requirements around selling knives, was there any other regulation of you as an online knife seller? Did you have to be registered with the Home Office or registered with the local authority, anything like that?
No, but I know that they're discussing that in the spring to bring in licensing, which we've had police meetings and we suggested that in the past. Maybe importers' licenses, that came up as well.
Thank you. And would you support the licensing of online knife sellers?
Definitely, yes.
To ensure good standards are kept and maintained?
Definitely.
Looking at the age verification process in a little bit more detail, if we have on the screen, please, KWAW 502. You deal with this in your statement, but I'm bringing it up in fairness to you and to Knife Warehouse, because I think that this was the age verification policy that came up under the age restrictions section of your website. Is that right?
That's right.
Click to upload ID, a big clear sign, no under 18s, and headlines, it's illegal to sell knives, swords or crossbows to anyone less than 18 years of age. We cannot and will not sell to any person less than 18 years of age. If you're underage, please do not attempt to purchase from us, as your order will be cancelled. It's also against the law for you to attempt to purchase any knife or weapon. And if we can just leave where it is on screen at the moment, please, Sarah, right at the bottom, we see we have to be sure every customer is over 18 for obvious reasons. So please do not take offence when asked to prove your age. We're very strict, make no exceptions. Please do not send the ID of another person. It sounds silly, but we get it every day. We're trying to identify the customer's age, no one else's. No selfies, please. They're clearly not proof of age. It could be a photo of anyone. If we just scroll down a little bit now. I think that's the end of that section. So the guidance there, at least warning people against the use of other people's identification, yes?
Yes.
And was that in place at the time you've exhibited to your statement? Was that what you had at the time of the sale to AR in 2023, or is that updated more recently?
No, I'm sure that's been there for years.
Thank you. As a company, you also had, can we look at it please, KWAW 505, reinforcing the same message, you had a legal information section saying that Knife Warehouse is a responsible knife retailer. A brief overview was given. And at the bottom of the page, a warning that it is illegal to sell knives in bold, swords or crossbows to anyone less than 18 years of age. We will check your age before we ship any orders. So again, I think in fairness to you, your website emphasizing this in a number of ways and in a number of places. Would you agree?
I do agree.
And you tell us in paragraph 18 of your statement, we don't need to bring it up, that effectively there were two, even at this time in 2023, you had two protections in place. There's the age verification at time of purchase and the age verification at the time of delivery.
That's correct.
Can you help the inquiry, please, with how the age verification at the time of purchase worked? If, as AR did, he put a form of photo ID in his case it was a driving license, how do you check that? What did you do to try to verify that it was genuine and it was an identification for from the person who was contacting you?
I don't know, just match the name and date of birth, and the ID looked very genuine. I believe it was a genuine ID, but not his.
So you match the name and date of birth. Match it with what?
With the driver's license and the details put in.
So you check that the person who's emailing you, the name that's given on the email and the forms matches the identification. Is that right?
Well, the delivery name was the same as the driver's license. It appeared genuine. There's no suspicious.
Thank you. You mentioned earlier in your evidence, I think, that you used to see a lot of fake IDs. Did you get a bit of experience in practical terms in spotting at least obviously fake IDs?
Yes, I used to go on the internet and look up specimen passports and driver's licenses, and they always seem to have the same name. And there's some foreign websites that you can buy fake ID from, and there's slight differences with the driver's licenses. So I'd print them off and
you check that?
Try and memorise them, yeah.
Did you do any monitoring to keep an eye on the levels of pass-fail of age verification? Did you keep records of that?
Sorry, could you say that again?
Yeah, did you keep any audit trail of the pass-fail of age verification? Did you keep an eye on the statistics of how many people would fail age verification?
No, I don't have any of that.
You've indicated that you would have a system for blocking, which was based, I think you said, on the email. Would you try to block a delivery to the same address if somebody had provided fake identification?
I don't know if I can block addresses.
While a system whereby you acquired a driving license or a pass ID or a passport appears on its face to have complied with the legal requirements at the time, would you agree that it was open to abuse in that somebody who'd got hold of a genuine identification, which is what AR appeared to have done, and claimed to be that person, that they could get through the age verification test just by saying, oh yes, my name is John, but I have an ID in Tom Smith. They email you as Tom Smith and the ID, and that passes that process?
I do now. At the time, it didn't seem to be an issue. Didn't seem to come up. I can't remember another time.
Yeah. I'll come back at the end to reflections and the future, but having a process, given that it's knives, whereby you have to have the person on screen and do a video check that the person actually looks like the form of identification. That would be a strengthening, wouldn't it?
Yes, that would actually, they're talking about the digital ID.
Yeah.
At the moment, that sounds ideal for this.
I follow. But in terms of, although there was that vulnerability in your processes, did you understand at the time that the type of checks that you were doing were compliant with the law as it then stood?
Yes, it was.
Turning to the age-verified delivery, you explain in your statement that at the time, what that required was that when the bladed item was delivered, if the person who was taking it appeared over the age of 25, they would need to provide identification on delivery to prove that they were over 18. Is that right in basic terms?
That's right. And I've checked it, and the postman or post lady, they asked for a year of birth as well and put that into their scanner.
Thank you. And you explain, and we know it was the case with AR, that it was Royal Mail that you used for deliveries, and you booked their age verification delivery service.
That's correct, yes.
Was there a reason why you chose that service from Royal Mail?
There's not many options for age-verified delivery. There's UPS, DPD, and Royal Mail, but we've always used Royal Mail.
Thank you. In paragraph 22 of your statement, you say Royal Mail's age-verified delivery service is used for all deliveries of any bladed items. Parcels are clearly marked as contains a bladed item, delivery to over 18 only, and are marked as age-verified delivery. How confident are you that the items that you were sending out in 2023 contained packaging that said contains a bladed item?
Yeah, confident. It was on the actual Royal Mail label as well as a template.
We may come back to that. The evidence the inquiry has received, which will be presented in due course, suggests that Royal Mail for this delivery did indeed do age verification, and the evidence may suggest that the machete in AR's case was handed over to AR's father, and it's right that I should make that clear, in fairness both to you and to Royal Mail. But as an online seller of knives, did you have any process for spot checks or checks with the customers who received your items that age verification was being done? Did you run any system of spot checking that?
I have tested other retailers to see if they were using age-verified delivery, and also for Amazon as well. I sent one to my daughter who was 12 just to see if they'd deliver it to her, but my wife answered the door for that one. But yeah, so I have done spot checks to see if it works.
That's spot checks on other retailers. What about checking at the point of delivery that your sales were being age verified? And again, I raise that with some caution because the evidence suggests that Royal Mail did it in AR's case. But did you have any system for just checking with a proportion of customers, checking in with them? Can we just check that your knife was age verified when it was delivered?
No, I haven't done that, but they've always age verified when they've returned to me, and obviously I'm over 18, but they still ask for my year of birth.
Is doing some sampling of your customers to double check that age verification is appropriate something that you might think about in the future?
Definitely, yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
You also explain that in paragraph 19 of your statement that your understanding is that Knife Warehouse as a site is something that will be picked up on parental controls and blocked if parental controls are set appropriately.
Yes, yes. I can't, if I'm in a Pret or a coffee shop and I use their internet, I can't get on my own website. So they do block.
Thank you. Let us turn then from the general matters to AR's order. Can we have on the screen, please, KWAW 509? This is another of your helpful exhibits, and we see the confirmation of customer order. So just picking up a few of the details here, we can see the date, the 3rd of October 2023, yes?
Yes.
It's not a particularly expensive item at just short of £25. Would you agree?
Not that expensive, no.
The order was placed, and we've redacted part of the name for data protection reasons, but Onakunle also has a name of Samuel. So that's the billing address and the shipping address, both going to AR's home address, 10 Old School Close. Would you agree?
Yes.
The item, a Black Panther, it says Kirky, but I think that should be Kukri. Is that right?
Yes, I think it's just the style of blade,
Yeah.
a curved blade.
A Black Panther machete. Yes?
Yes.
If we look at MERP 30486, this is one of the exhibits that you provided, I think, to the police. Could the top of that bit be expanded, please? And very helpfully for us, and I'm sure for the police, you provided, at a time when they couldn't find the as-delivered machete, you provided the how it would have appeared on your website. Entirely black in colour?
Yes.
Why is that?
I have no idea. That's just how they come. Black seems to be the most popular colour.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. People just prefer black.
Really?
That's what I've found when we've had different colours. We have pocket knives that are red, blue, gold, but black always outsells any other colour.
If a machete was being used for agricultural purposes, it wouldn't matter what colour it was, would it?
No.
In the real world, a black machete, a machete with an entirely black silhouette, looks more sinister.
I suppose so, yes.
There's no suppose so about it. It makes it look more like a sinister weapon. Would you agree?
Yes.
Kukri. What is kukri?
I believe it's just the style of blade.
What is kukri most associated with, Mr. Wheeler?
I don't know, to be honest. I thought it was just a curved machete.
Are you not aware that what the kukri is most famed for is the weapon of choice for the Gurkhas?
Oh, right. No.
And that those interested in knives, for the kukri style of machete, widely used in Nepal, but has that particular resonance that it is the weapon used for a long time by the Gurkha regiment. Were you really not aware of that?
Well, not this thing.
But the name, you didn't realise that it might have a connotation with military use by a regiment best known for their bravery and fierceness.
I thought it was just the shape of the machete, or the blade rather.
Black Panther, what does that suggest to you, Mr. Wheeler?
It was just the brand name.
Well, it may be the brand name, but what does it suggest to you in the real world?
I don't know, it's just an animal.
Friendly animal?
No.
The Black Panther kukri machete with a completely black silhouette, it might be thought is named and branded in a way to make it look as ferocious as a weapon as possible. Is that fair?
Maybe so. I never thought about that at the time, or I didn't think of it in that way.
But this, Mr. Wheeler, is your, if I may use the phrase, chosen specialist subject. Did it really never occur to you that a machete advertised in this way, Black Panther kukri machete, with a completely black silhouette, is really speaking to its use as a weapon or to frighten or intimidate people? That's the truth, isn't it?
That wasn't my intention, no.
But it's the objective effect, and it's your website.
It is, yeah, and suppose it's some people will look at it like that.
Thinking about it now, was that responsible in terms of a machete to advertise and market in that way? Was that a responsible thing to do?
Now, I wouldn't sell them. At the time, Black Panther didn't mean anything to me particularly, and I didn't think of it as a weapon of particular menace or anything like that. At the time, it was just another product.
Just another product.
Yes.
That's your evidence.
Sorry?
That's your evidence. Just another product. You hadn't thought about it that much.
Not a couple of years ago.
And just remind us, how long had you been in the trade? Since 2010?
2010. Yeah.
Thank you. That can be taken from the screen. AR then uploaded as proof of age. Can we have on the screen MERP 30392, please? Could that just be rotated? Thank you very much, Sarah. There we go. Now, a lot of this license, because this appears to be a genuine license in somebody else's identity, we've obviously blacked out those details. But you've been able to see the unredacted version, haven't you?
Yes, I do have a copy, yeah.
And again, in fairness to you, this has all the hallmarks, as far as you can tell from this image, of being a genuine driving license.
Yeah, I believed it to be genuine.
The driving license, though, belonged to a black gentleman born in 1961, therefore in his 60s, living in Uxbridge.
Yes.
And where was the order for the knife, for the machete, being delivered to?
It was the AR's address
Yeah.
that we saw earlier in the other exhibit.
In Banks, in Lancashire.
Yes.
Just over, I think, 200 miles away from Uxbridge. Did that not ring alarm bells?
I can't remember because it was 2 years ago, but I didn't spot anything or don't remember anything at the time.
Would you personally have looked at this driving license and checked it as the ID?
Yes.
Looking at it now, does that strike you as strange?
Yeah, this year we've been asking for proof of address as well. A lot of people have just moved, and so far everyone's been sending in utility bills or council tax to prove they do live at the address it's being shipped to. But at that time, there was it wasn't a requirement.
What's the legitimate use for a machete if it's not used as a weapon? What's its legitimate use in the UK?
To cut vegetation, I think is its primary design.
And I don't want to be ageist about it, but did you wonder why a gentleman in his 60s in Uxbridge was ordering an agricultural knife, if that's really what it can be described as, and wanting it shipped to banks in Lancashire?
No, I didn't. Not at the time.
Or what a man in his 60s might want with a Black Panther machete in the first place?
No, I didn't think about it at the time.
Do you think you should have thought about it at the time?
Yes, I do now.
Thank you. That can be taken from the screen. Again, Mr. Wheeler, you have very helpfully and very promptly provided copies of the exchange of emails. And again, we're grateful for all the detail that you've provided in your evidence. Sir, just for your note, at KWAW 5007, 8 and 9, Mr. Wheeler, you have provided the exchange of emails, but I think in so far as your company was concerned, those were automated emails about the order process. There was no specific exchange in which AR was saying things to you or you were saying things to him. It was just standard automated emails.
No, it was just like the welcome email, the order email, I believe, and then a feedback email that gets sent from another company.
Thank you. Sweela, at the time of your statement to the police, and indeed at the time of your statement to this inquiry, no criticism of you at all. Neither the police nor the inquiry had available imagery of the machete as delivered. But since you provided your statement, we now do have that. You've been put on notice of this. So could we have on the screen, please, MERP 208292. And this is a first of a series of photographs that the Merseyside Police have provided. We could go to page 3, please. Does that look like the grey packaging with a packaging label? We'll come to the label in a moment, but then the black box for the Black Panther machete itself.
Yes, that looks like the one.
Thank you. Page 4, please. There was on the inside of the packaging that red circular warning, extremely sharp, case for storage only. That looks like the manufacturer's standard warning on the packaging, presumably so that people don't injure themselves when unpacking.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Thank you. Page 5, please. There is the nylon sheath, I think, that it came with, and the Black Panther machete in a wrapping. Page 7, please. We see the machete unfurled. Again, I dealt with that in terms of the description, but it doesn't seem particularly stylized for the lawful, legitimate agricultural use, does it? All black in that way?
I don't know what the colour makes it more offensive, but...
Really?
Well, black, I don't know.
It's not more threatening in a way? More sinister? Black Panther?
Maybe so, but I didn't think so.
Page 19, please. Could that just be rotated, please, Sarah? Thank you very much. We can see the return address of your company, so presumably you're happy this is the item that you shipped.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. And again, in fairness to you, the packaging label here has got a clear age verification stamp, a bit smaller. We'll see it in the next photograph a bit clearer, but age verification over 18 only. You mentioned earlier on, and you remember that I said that I would come back to it, that parcels are clearly marked as contains a bladed item. Where do we see that? Take your time.
Only the age-restricted item and the 18 plus symbol.
Yeah, but it doesn't say contains a bladed item, does it?
No, it's usually shows Dymo labels. We print them off.
And were you aware that there was a legal requirement at the time in terms of the labelling and packaging, not just to make it clear that it was age-restricted, but there was a legal obligation when you were selling knives to make sure that the packaging said that it contained a bladed item?
Yes, I was aware of all the laws.
And you did not meet your legal duty in that respect in terms of this delivery, would you agree?
Well, it's the first time I've seen this parcel, but it appears not to be on there, yes.
And then over the page, please, to 21. That can just be no, that's fine, thank you. But there is, again, in fairness, there is the over 18 only, so that aspect clearly stamped on the label. Would you agree?
I agree.
Thank you very much. Turning to the delivery itself, presumably you wouldn't then have any further dealings with it. You would entrust that to the Royal Mail service that I've asked you about.
I do, yes.
And as I've covered already, but just to re-emphasise, Royal Mail, in their evidence to this inquiry, say that they have done checks, they've carried out interviews, that the item was age verified, and that the driver, the information that's been given by the driver tends to suggest that the recipient at the address was AR's father. So I'm not for a moment going to suggest that you hadn't ordered an age-verified delivery, and I'm not going to suggest that age verification did not take place, because the evidence suggests that it does. Do you follow?
I do.
Thank you. Can I ask a few more questions about concerns that might arise from those seeking to order knives? I'm asked to explore with you whether you have any specific safeguards in relation to customers making bulk orders. Is that something that you have in place?
That's part of the new Ronan's law.
Yeah.
Where they haven't really given us any guidance, but yeah, any bulk orders we're meant to tell a knife intelligence officer.
So that's something, bulk orders at the time you didn't have in place, but it sounds like you're introducing as a result to changes in the law. Would that be fair?
That's fair, yeah.
Insofar as it may be relevant, back in 2023, 2024, would you have voluntarily, as a matter of your discretion, intervened if somebody was trying to make a bulk order? Or would you just have seen that as good business? If they're ordering 30 machetes, that's good for us?
Oh, no, not that amount, no. It would be rare to buy more than a few items.
Your statement details some changes that you've made since the incident. One of the things that you tell us about in your statement is that your website now has a pop-up Does that come up on first entry into your website?
Yes, that was suggested by the inquiry and thought that's a good idea. It doesn't stop people from still going into the site, but they can't see anything until they get a warning saying they must be over 18.
You'll forgive me being a fussy lawyer, but I don't think it's quite right that it was suggested by the inquiry. I think the query to you for your statement asked if you had precautions such as a pop-up, but I think seeing that, you then thought, that's a good idea, I'll do that. Would that be
That's
fair?
right, yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you. And does that warn, the inquiry team have been able to have a look at that, does that warn on first, when someone first goes to your website that many of your items require age verification of over 18s only?
Yeah, I think it's just one more warning for them not to, if they're under 18.
And you've touched upon it, but a change that you have introduced is this right, is that you now have increased security at the stage of the age verification of the purchase because you ask for proof of address.
Yes, been checking the electoral register. If someone provides a passport, if they've got a driver's license, we can check the address straight away. But yeah, I email and ask them for a bill or some evidence that they do live at that address, specifically to try and prevent what's happened here.
Thank you. So the driving license will contain the address and you can then check that against the electoral roll. But if it's a form of identification with no address, you ask for proof of where their address is and you check that against the electoral roll, as well as looking at the validity of the identification. Is that right?
That's right. I couldn't think of any more systems we could put in place at the time.
And if it doesn't match, what then happens in your current way of doing things?
I've cancelled a couple of orders if they say they can't provide proof. But so far, most people have just provided it or said send it to the driver's license address. Some people are like try and get it delivered to their mum while they're at work and so forth like that. But yeah, currently that seems to be working.
And you tell us in paragraph 36 of your statement, you'll only ship with age-verified couriers to an address that matches the identity document provided with the purchase.
Sorry,
Yeah, it's your paragraph 36. I will only ship with age-verified couriers to an address that matches the identity document provided with the purchase.
yes, that's the policy now.
So in this case, looking at AR, when his identity was for a man called Samuel living in Uxbridge, that would now fail your test because you'd say, no, that's a driving license to someone in Uxbridge. I'm not delivering to Banks in Lancashire.
Absolutely, yeah.
And there are changes going through Parliament at the moment to the law that may require the item for the age verified to delivery to be delivered to the same person who made the order. Have you made any preparations towards bringing in that system?
Actually, I changed the wording on our bladed article sticker to say addressee only in bold. I know it's not law yet, but hopefully the delivery driver will read that.
Right, you say hopefully the delivery driver will read that and one understands what you mean, but do you think in due course that's something you're going to have to be tighter on than hoping that the delivery driver will read it?
Well, I'm sure the Royal Mail make it their policy when the law comes in.
Thank you. Is there any system in the industry at the moment that helps you to identify customers of concern, i.e. those for convictions for knife crime or those with a known propensity to violence. Do you get any system, any database or any help with that?
No, but I have had meetings with police to discuss things like this in the past. I wanted to suggest to them, especially people that are on a watch list, if they could scan our orders for any names of interest or known associates, specifically on a watch list, then it's more preventative. They could stop the order or they could arrest the person, especially if they're known to be dangerous, but we don't have any information like that.
So you don't positively have that information, but as an online retailer, you don't have a difficulty with providing information to the police?
No, I've suggested it several times, and we've had a few meetings with more about gangs than anything else.
Thank you. Are there any other changes that you've made to your own systems, Mr. Wheeler, that you think would be helpful for the inquiry to know about?
No, apart from the product range, which there's no more machetes available, and movie knives, which used to be popular, but people don't like them, or they appear to be more violent. We've removed them, and also reducing the size of the knives to, we're thinking, anything under 8 inches or a pocket knife, and anything that looks practical.
Is that a change that you're thinking of bringing in to restrict the length of knives, so to be more cautious than the law is? Is that something you're thinking of bringing in but haven't yet brought in?
We've started. The machetes are all gone, the swords, any large hunting knives, they're gone. I'm thinking maybe just stick to pocket knives, which obviously they can still be used as a weapon, but they're a lot less dangerous.
Now, one understands that you've said that the machetes have gone, and in fairness to you, it is marked as being out of stock. But do you realise that your website, certainly as of last night, and I think as of this morning, still has, albeit out of stock, a Buckland Kukri field knife machete on your website?
I was only aware of that when I spoke to you this morning and we saw it. It shouldn't have been visible, but it's not for sale.
And notwithstanding the questions that the inquiry has asked you to address, until I and the inquiry legal team showed that to you this morning, were you really not aware that that was still visible on your website?
No, I thought everything was on hidden or deleted.
Mr. Wheeler, the description for that item says this deeply curved Kukri machete from Buckland is designed with a phenomenal curve angle that puts the full weight of the knife behind each cut. It's a well-known design, the Kukri, and has stood the test of time. Just pausing there in the description, this is another machete that has a completely black silhouette, yes?
Yes.
And on the description on your website, it says it's non-reflective, so won't scare the fish away if you're out on the lake, exclamation mark. Thinking about it now, what do you make of that description for why that machete is all black?
I didn't write that description.
No, but it's on your website.
Yes. Sorry, could you repeat the question?
It's non-reflective, so won't scare the fish away if you're out on the lake.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't really know what that means.
Do you read this material before putting it on your website?
Yes.
The outside observer might think that it is very obvious that the purpose of an entirely black silhouette machete is to make it look more ferocious and more sinister. Would you agree? We've covered that.
That was never my opinion before, no.
No, but somebody looking at it from outside with sensible eyes might well think that.
They may do, yes.
And do you think that that reasonable outside observer might think that it's pretty offensive to pretend that the reason for the machete being all black is so that if you're fishing with a black machete, you're not going to scare the fish?
I don't know, to be honest.
Thinking about some of the questions that I've asked, does it cause you to reflect that perhaps you haven't taken the responsible care with some of the items on your website that you should have done in terms of their description?
Yeah, in hindsight, then I'd change that one. Definitely, I'd change the product range.
You've touched on the fact that the website, certainly when we sent the request to you, had for sale, and I think in stock, Rambo knives and items with names such as Predator, Cold Steel, Walking Dead. In your statement, you suggest that the knives are called that because they're all named after films and things in the media. Is that right?
That is right, yes.
And again, thinking about the real world, does it not, even at the time, did you not pause to think about whether knives being sold as Predator, Cold Steel, Walking Dead had the sound of weapons about them?
No, they're very collectible. Cold Steel's just a brand name. That's not a movie.
But what does Cold Steel imply when it's a knife, Mr. Wheeler?
It's just a brand from America.
It may be a brand name, but again, to the outside observer, Cold Steel is a phrase used about things like bayonets and stabbing people, isn't it?
I was not aware of that, no.
Really?
Really, yeah, Cold Steel.
So there were some questions from, I think, two advocates. I'm just looking across to my left to see if either of them had any questions. I'm seeing shakes of the head. So do you have any additional questions for this witness?
Just one thing from me. The machete we've been discussing this morning was bought in 2023. You haven't been asked to look this up in advance, but off the top of your head, can you help us with approximately how many machetes your company sold during 2023?
I really don't know. I can find out for you.
Can you give us whether it's 50, 100, 200, 500? What's the ballpark?
I'd say over 100.
Can I ask you to check on the figures for 2023, please, and let us know? So all machetes of all descriptions. And so let's say it was 100 in 2023. Is it your evidence then that those machetes which your company sold were, in your view, all going to be used by whoever bought them to cut vegetation?
Well, I couldn't tell what their intentions were, to be honest.
Well, so did you have any curiosity at all as to who was going to be buying these items and why they were going to be buying them?
Well, I'd pay particular attention to what I'd call more gang areas.
Well, what does that mean? So if there'd been a request from a particular area in London, how would you know whether that was a gang-related request or somebody who really did have an interest in clearing vegetation?
I wouldn't know, I'm afraid.
No. So I think it comes to it, doesn't it, that you didn't actually really have any curiosity about who you were selling these to?
I suppose not, sir.
Thank you very much for coming.
So there are some technical issues that we need to sort out. May I ask for a slightly extended break? May I ask for 20 minutes, but get notice to you if we need any longer?
Certainly.
Thank you, sir.
I'll rise. Mr. Moss.
Thank you, sir. Our next witness is Juan Martinez, and he will be giving evidence through an interpreter. Could I just ask, first of all, that our interpreter takes the oath?
I swear by Almighty God that I will well and faithfully interpret and make true explanation of all such matters and things as shall be required of me, according to the best of my skill and understanding.
Thank you. I think we need to do two things. Could we just please ask for our interpreter just please to speak up, because you're very faint and it may be that the technicians will need to do some work with the sound as well. And can I ask for Mr. Martinez to take the oath or affirmation, please?
Yo solemnemente y verdaderamente declaro y afirmo que la evidencia que voy a entregar será la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Just going to pause for a moment to see, could I just indicate to our interpreter that we didn't receive your interpretation? I think it may be a problem.
I do solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Please give us your full name, Mr. Martinez.
Juan Martínez y Fuentes.
Juan Martínez y Fuentes.
Thank you. Could we have shared on the screen, please, HKAW 4032. And Mr. Martinez, could you just confirm that this is the statement that you gave to this inquiry on the 21st of August of this year?
¿Me lo puedes repetir, que no te he oído bien?
Could you repeat, please? I cannot hear you.
So can you just confirm that this is the statement you gave to this inquiry on the 21st of August of this year?
Sí.
Yes.
And are the contents of the statement true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Sí.
Yes.
And if we can have on screen, please, HKAW 33. HKAW 4033. Mr. Martinez, can you confirm that this is a second statement you provided to the inquiry?
La declaración esta que me estás poniendo, sí. Sí.
The statement as it appears, yes.
that it's dated the 22nd of September, and can you confirm that that statement is true to the best of your knowledge, information and belief?
¿Verdad? Al alcance.
Sí, fecha 22 de septiembre. Sí.
Yes, the 22nd of September, yes.
Ahora,
Now I don't hear you.
And that the statement is true to the best of your knowledge, information and belief?
sí.
Sí.
Thank you. Can you confirm, Mr. Martinez, that you are the co-founder and director of a company called Agio Wholesale UK Limited?
Es correcto.
It's correct.
And that company, I think, trades under a name Hunting and Knives with a website huntingandknives.co.uk.
Es correcto.
It's correct.
And you have been a director of Agio since, I think, 2015?
Correcto.
Correct.
What types of products do you stock and sell as Hunting and Knives?
Hunting and Knives, como stock.
Hunting and Knives
no
stock
tiene
doesn't have stock
para decir ahora mismo.
that we can say
Pero se
right
venden,
now.
los productos que se venden son
The products that are
productos de
sold
cuchillería y productos
are
de
knives and products of. Sorry, could I ask to repeat?
no te escucho.
Yes, it's what types of products do you stock and sell? Don't worry so much about the stock, but what sort of products are sold by Hunting and Knives?
Cuchillería,
Knives
que en España cuchillería, o sea, entra todo. O sea, knives,
in Spain. Knives incorporates everything, like from knives, cutlery,
brújulas, artículos de
sharp
botas,
objects,
cuchillas.
and articles, objects such as gloves, and could I ask to repeat the final word that the
Right. Does it include machetes?
Machetes.
machetes?
Ahora mismo no se venden machetes, pero se han estado vendiendo machetes.
Not right now. We don't sell machetes, but we have been selling machetes.
Do you have any criteria that you use to decide whether or not you will sell knives?
Perdona, ¿me puedes repetir la pregunta?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yes. Do you have any criteria that you use to decide whether or not you will sell knives?
No, no hay un criterio para vender cuchillos o no. Lo único
No,
criterio
criteria
es la legislación.
knives or not. The only thing we have is the
En
legislation.
el caso de
In
los
the case
machetes, se
of the
han quitado
machetes,
porque no se sabía o decían que iba a salir una ley que a lo mejor los
Because-
prohibía o que no los prohibía.
because it was known that there was going to be a law, whether it was going to be prohibited or not.
Entendemos que siguen siendo legales.
We understand it to be the legal thing.
Do you sell knives outside of the UK or only in the UK?
Vendemos
been
en el Reino
sell
Unido,
in the
fuera del
UK
Reino Unido, con otra
and
compañía
outside
en España.
the UK with another
Tenemos en
company in
todo el mundo.
Spain. We have it all over the world.
And what is the name of the other company that you use for outside of the UK?
La empresa que utilizamos fuera del Reino Unido se llama
Company that
Grupo Marpasi.
we use outside the UK is called Grupo
Es una empresa española.
Marpasi,
Y vendemos por todo
and
el
we
mundo.
sell all over the
Asia,
world.
América, desde Canadá hasta Argentina.
America, Canada, Argentina, Europe, and all over the world.
You are a native Spanish speaker. How do you keep on top of what the United Kingdom law requires?
¿Perdona?
I'm sorry?
So if you could directly translate my question, you are a native Spanish speaker. How do you keep on top of what the United Kingdom law requires?
Como en la compañía del Reino Unido, lo que tenemos es
The company
asesor
in United Kingdom, we have an
que
assessor
nos puede informarnos
who can
si hay
inform
alguna
us
legislación.
about any legislation that will affect us.
Who is the assessor and what qualification do they have?
El asesor se llama
Assessor is called,
la calificación, no sé, es que no sé a qué te refieres con la calificación. No sé que haya calificaciones.
the assessor is called, I did not catch that, I'm afraid, but I don't have any idea of the qualification involved.
Please explain again who the assessor is.
La empresa se llama Well-Tas.
The company is called Well Trust.
Do you pay for their services?
Sí.
Yes.
I want to start looking at the sale to AR by providing an overview. Could you just translate that?
Las ventas AR en la declaración.
The sale to AR in the statement.
Hizo una compra.
AR made a purchase
23, no tengo ahora mismo
in October of 23. I haven't the details.
Después
And then he tried
una posterior compra.
a subsequent purchase.
Un machete.
On the first purchase, he bought a machete,
Segunda compra.
and on the second purchase, he tried to buy a kitchen knife.
Compró, con lo cual solo sé
He
lo
bought,
que fue el machete en el año 23.
and he obtained the machete in the year of 2023.
So to start with, it's right that AR was a child when he successfully ordered a machete from you in October 2023. Do you agree?
Él se nos identificó.
He identified to us
Nos aportó el carnet de conducir.
his driving license
62 años.
from a person of 62 years old.
Entonces, cuando nos
We will come on to that, but it is important that Mr. Martinez please listens to the translation of the question and answers it. So my question was, AR was a child when he successfully ordered a machete from you in October 2023. Do you agree?
Sí.
Yes.
And it was delivered by Every on the 26th of October 2023.
Sí.
Yes.
He was able to place that order because he used a driving license of a 62-year-old man called Samuel.
Samuel.
Sí.
Yes.
Prior to making the order, he had some exchange by email with Hunting and Knives about your age verification process.
Sí.
Yes.
In terms of how the machete got to AR, Hunting and Knives sent it to a company called S.J. Henderson Fulfillment.
Sí.
Yes.
They used a contract for a linked company called Ruach Music.
Al parecer sí.
Could you just translate what Mr. Martinez just said?
It appears so.
Yeah. And that company, Ruach Music, then used their contract with Whistle to arrange the delivery through Every.
Sí.
Yes.
When the delivery was made, there was no age verification process on delivery at all.
Al parecer no.
It appears no.
Having successfully got his hands on a machete from your company, in June 2024, AR then tried to order a kitchen knife from you.
Sí.
Yes.
But because he didn't actually pay for that online, that order did not go through and it was never delivered.
Sí, así fue.
Yes, that's how it was.
I want to ask you, Mr. Martinez, about the legal requirements. So we'll see how we go, but I'm going to give the reference for this and see if we can do it without bringing it up on screen. But it's ILT 4048. So, Mr. Martinez, are you aware that under the Criminal Justice Act 1988, it is an offence to sell a knife or other bladed or pointed article to someone who is under the age of 18?
Sí.
Yes.
But that there is a legal defence if you, as the seller, take appropriate precautions.
Sí.
Yes.
The general requirement as a seller is that you must prove that you took all reasonable precautions and exercised all due diligence to avoid the knife being sold to somebody under the age of 18.
Sí.
Yes.
Were you aware that there were 4 conditions specified and that each condition had to be met in order for you to show that you had exercised all reasonable precautions?
¿Me lo puedes decir otra vez, que no te he entendido?
Could you repeat? I have not understood.
No te oigo.
Cannot hear you.
Were you aware that the law set 4 conditions which all had to be met in order for you to show that you had taken all reasonable precautions?
Creo que sí.
I think so.
Before I go through them, can you remember what they were?
¿Y puedo recordar lo que eran? ¿El qué?
I have to remember what they were.
I will go through them in a moment, but you were the person selling machetes in the UK. So I'm asking you if you can remember what the 4 conditions were.
Que no fuese menor de edad, que se hiciese la comprobación de la menoría, que sea menor de edad, que el artículo no sea ilegal. No sé, otra condición ahora mismo no recuerdo.
That they were not below the age of 18, that we had to verify their age, and that the article or the object was not illegal, but I cannot remember the other.
Right. So the first condition, condition A, were you aware that you had to have a system for checking that the person buying the knife was not under the age of 18?
Sí, la comprobación que se hizo.
Yes, the verification that was done.
And that system was likely to prevent children from buying such knives.
Sí.
Yes.
The second condition, condition B, is about the packaging. Did you understand that the packaging had to state that it contained an article with a blade or which was sharply pointed?
Sí.
Yes.
And also that the packaging had to show on the packaging that it should only be delivered into the hands of somebody who was 18 years or older.
Sí.
Yes.
Condition C was that you were required to take all reasonable precautions to ensure that when finally delivered, the package would be delivered into the hands of somebody aged 18 or over.
O mayor.
Sí.
Yes.
And were you aware of condition D, that you did not deliver the package to a locker.
La condición de un paquete a un asegurador. Aquí, no sé qué te refieres con el asegurador.
Sorry, I don't know what a locker
No
is.
sé lo que es un asegurador.
So something like an Amazon delivery cabinet.
Sí, 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 sí.
Yes,
Estaba-
yes, I was. Casi.
How confident are you, Mr. Martinez, that you, in 2023, understood all of those 4 conditions?
Yo estaba confiado porque
I was
teníamos
not
contratado
confident.
una empresa de logística que entendíamos que cumplía las condiciones sabiendo la mercancía que estaba transportando.
Because
Todos estamos acostumbrados como ventas en muchas partes del mundo y trabajamos con muchas empresas. Las propias empresas, cuando hay una legislación, por decirlo de alguna manera, nueva, pues nos la piden o nos la exigen si hay una condición nueva. Cuando cambia la condición, por ejemplo, hace bien poco, pues un envío que se ha enviado a Suiza, pues ha habido que hacer una declaración jurada como que es porque como va clasificado como cuchillo, pues como que es una declaración de que no tiene doble, los componentes que lo componen no tienen doble uso. Esto es, pues bueno, debido a quizás a la guerra de Ucrania y tal, donde una batidora pues puede tener componentes que tengan uso militar. Entonces todo
Pause
esto, las propias
Pause there, please.
empresas lo saben.
I was confident that through my logistics company would be able to comply with the worldwide sales and the changes in legislation Sir, could we ask to repeat one more time from there, please?
So could I ask for our interpreter, please, to translate just what I'm about to say? Mr. Martinez, you must, if you're giving a long answer, please pause after a few sentences to give our interpreter a chance to interpret what you are saying.
Sí.
And could I ask our interpreter, please, if Mr. Martinez's answer is getting too long for you to reliably translate it? It's a job requiring great skill and we're grateful to you, but could you ask Mr. Martinez to pause and translate it in sections, please? So you were not confident that you understood it, but you relied on the company to explain the British legal requirements. Is that a fair summary? Do we still have the link? So would you forgive me for a moment, because obviously we have Secretariat members available who, well, I know will get a message. Let's just see if we can re-establish it, and if not, I'll ask you to rise. But could I just ask for indulgence for a few moments?
Usted me puedes
Can you still hear us? So I wonder if I might ask you to rise for 5 minutes and we'll get a message. Thank you, sir. So my question was this. So you were not confident in the legal requirements yourself, but you relied on the company that you used to inform you about them.
¿Me lo puedes repetir otra vez? Que no te he entendido.
Can you repeat, please?
Yes. You were not confident in the legal requirements yourself, but you relied on the company that you used to inform you about them.
No.
No.
Ellos no nos informaban sobre eso.
They did not inform us about this.
Hacían era
They
teníamos un contrato en el que ellos
They had a contract with us.
mandábamos la mercancía.
We
sabían
sent
cuál
them
era,
the merchandise.
sabían, tenían allí esto.
They knew
Y de hecho
what it was.
hay un listado que mandó él, Stephen Henderson, por Filmen, con las unidades que iban. Pues era consciente de que lo que se estaba trabajando era cuchillería.
Well,
Y nosotros el contrato con él es, yo envío la cuchillería hasta lo que es el almacén y él era el que se tenía que encargar de enviarlo al cliente. ¿Cómo lo enviaba al cliente?
It's too long.
How's-
You must please translate. You must ask him to pause because his answers are too long for you to translate in one go. So please ask him to stop. But can you translate what he has just said?
So they were under contract with S.J. Henderson, and the merchandise was sent to the store, and he knew what they were. So then we can continue.
Before you got to the stage of shipping the goods, how did you understand what your duties under British law were?
Antes de enviar los pedidos,
Before sending the goods,
entendía,
I understood
he
that,
comentado,
like I've
nosotros
commented,
hacíamos
we
la prueba de la
made
verificación de edad,
the verification
y luego
of age,
entendíamos que él,
and we understood that he,
Filmen, era el
fulfillment,
responsable
was the
de entregar el
responsible
paquete con
party
las condiciones,
to
sabiendo la mercancía que
to
tenía,
deliver the
con esas
goods
condiciones.
under the
Las condiciones, además,
conditions
en estos
known
últimos años han sido cambiantes.
because of
Entonces,
they
yo
have
lo que
been
no sabía es cómo lo
changing
entregaba.
lately.
Eso no nos lo decía. Funcionaba como una
He didn't communicate this
como una
to us.
empresa de transporte.
He operated like
Que lo normal es que la
transport
empresa de transporte
company
pues te facilita, tú le facilitas
that
la mercancía,
facilitated the
ellos hacen la
merchandise
entrega y te facilitan pues el tracking, el seguimiento
and the tracking
para saber que el paquete se ha entregado.
to know that
y no hay
the
ningún problema.
product has
Eso
been
es
delivered, and if there was
eso
a problem,
funcionamos así con
that's
todas
how
las
we
empresas
operated
de transporte que se utilizan.
via the transport agencies used.
DHL, DPD,
from HLPD,
todas.
all of
Entonces,
them,
a nivel internacional funciona así.
to
El que se encarga
at a world
de
level, this is how
entregar el
it's
paquete y de la
operated
entrega del paquete es
from the
la empresa de transporte.
the delivery of the
Puede haber
parcel
unos
via the
requisitos y
transport
otros. La
company.
empresa del transporte es la conocedora
So the
real
transport
de esos
company
requisitos.
is the knowledgeable one over
Y
this.
nosotros,
Please ask Mr. Martinez to pause because he's getting into areas that I'll come on to later. There was a further UK law requirement under something called the Offensive Weapons Act of 2019. Could you just translate that, please? Were you aware that under that law, as the seller of knives being sent to people's home addresses, you had a personal duty to ensure that you put arrangements in place for there to be age-verified delivery?
claro,
Sure.
I'm asking you about the delivery stage, not the online purchase stage. And it was your duty to ensure, through the procedures that you put in place, that the delivery was age verified. Did you understand that?
sí, entendía que la
I
entrega,
understood
de hecho,
that the
nosotros
delivery,
cuando vendíamos un cuchillo,
when we sold a knife,
en la propia,
in
se le cobraba al cliente, se pondría,
when we
entrega con
when we
verificación
charged
de edad.
the client, we would say delivery with the verification of age, and that the company
Con ese requisito, pues,
would deliver the knife,
lo dice la ley, es normal, todo el mundo lo hace.
and the law states this. It's
La
normal.
verdad que seguimiento
Truth
de cómo
is,
se hacían las cosas,
tracking of how the things
poco,
were
porque
carried out.
confiabas en que con quien tienes el contrato,
You trusted the person that you were in contract with that they were complying to this,
yo no conocía
but I didn't know
las peculiaridades del contrato.
the particularity of SJ Henderson and Whistle.
Did you understand that it wasn't appropriate for you to delegate the arrangement to somebody else? Because it was your personal duty to put arrangements in place that ensured age-verified delivery.
Pues si era
Yes,
el deber personal, quizá ahí
it was a personal duty, but maybe in terms of personal duty, we did not comply
porque no se reflejó.
because it wasn't
Se habló,
reflected.
pero se habló, claro, se habló por
It was spoken
conferencia
on
SJ Henderson. Y ahí
by video conference with SJ Henderson.
vemos cómo queremos hacerlo y él nos dijo que no había ningún problema, que ellos eran una
It wouldn't be a
empresa
problem,
especializada o experta en tal.
that he was expert in this,
Claro, yo no puedo, no tengo ningún documento.
and I don't have any
Contrato,
document
ni siquiera viene eso. O sea,
where this appears.
no puedo mostrar un documento
I cannot show a document
diga lo que estoy diciendo.
that states what I am saying.
A separate part of your duties under UK law was that you must not market a knife, so sell a knife, in a way which would indicate or suggest that the knife is suitable for combat or is otherwise likely to stimulate or encourage violent behavior. Were you aware of that law about how you marketed knives?
Sí, claro. La palabra
Yes, sure.
combate
The word combat
no se refleja en
is not
lo que
reflected
es en la venta.
in the
Sí
sale.
es cierto que puede aparecer la
It's
palabra
true
combate,
that
no
that
como,
word combat could appear
sino como nombre del fabricante, nombre del
as
cuchillo.
a name of
Si el
the
cuchillo se
brand
llama como el
or
fabricante lo ha
name of
llamado
the knife.
de una determinada manera,
If it's called in this in a
es el
determined
nombre del
way,
cuchillo.
it's the name of the knife.
Realmente,
Really,
cuchillo
the knife,
táctico o cuchillo de
tactical
supervivencia,
or
nosotros,
survival
yo
knife,
entiendo,
as I understand
quizás a
it,
lo mejor
is
es
maybe
la traducción y haya
the
una
translation,
definición más expresa en Inglaterra o en el
the
Reino
most
Unido.
precise translation in England.
Aquí un cuchillo táctico,
A
un
tactical
cuchillo
knife
de supervivencia o de
is a
búsqueda
survival knife,
es lo mismo. De
is,
hecho,
is the same.
las líneas de los cuchillos, un cuchillo puede tener,
This line
se
of
llama la
knives
línea, o sea,
could
línea
have
combate.
this
Un
line
cuchillo,
be named
donde baja,
combat
no sé
knife,
qué, o sea,
a
eso
knife,
realmente es un nombre.
a blade,
Puede
a
poner otro
machete
nombre, pero no quiere decir que sea
is
eso, un
is
cuchillo, ni se anuncia como que
it's Hausa.
para...
Sorry, Hausa up to I think just to finish off from the last sentence, please.
So I had asked whether Mr. Martinez was aware that he mustn't market the knives in a way that is otherwise likely to stimulate or encourage violent behavior. That was the last part of my question. Was he aware of that?
Sí, soy consciente de que no hay que
Yes, I am conscious
comercializar
that you're not
para
to
que,
market
que sean violentos.
so that you can be violent.
And do you now appreciate that there might be a problem with describing knives as tactical knives, because that might suggest military type use of knives as a weapon?
El cuchillo táctico, como he
Tactical
comentado
knife,
antes, yo
like
lo
as it
entiendo
was
como es un
before,
cuchillo de búsqueda. Evidentemente, un cuchillo ahí,
the
un cuchillo
hunting knife
que se le pueden definir como tácticos militares
can be
o como
defined as a
tácticas de
tactical
caza o para
military or
tácticas de
tactical
supervivencia. Porque
domestic or
dentro de la
tactical
supervivencia también
survival.
se utilizan tácticas o técnicas de
In
supervivencia. Yo
survival,
entendía que
you
la
can
palabra
use
táctica
tactical
podía
ways for survival.
ser única y exclusivamente
It
una cosa
wasn't.
militar.
It wasn't marketed to be used uniquely or solely as a military thing.
In the real world, most people, when the word tactical is used with a knife, would think that's about a weapon, the military. They're not going to think that's about hunting in the real world, are they?
En el mundo real, quizá no en el mundo real.
Maybe not in the real world.
En el Reino Unido, quizá la palabra
In
táctica
the UK, maybe the word
más
tactical
enfocada
is more focused
en el
to
mundo
the
real, porque es el
military,
mundo más grande que eso, pues la
which
palabra
is,
táctica a lo mejor
but in the wider
lo
world,
entendemos en
the
otros sitios
tactical, the word
como algo
tactical,
enfocado. No tiene por qué ir exclusivamente enfocado.
we use it more widely. It doesn't have an exclusive meaning.
So I want to ask you about the age verification process that you used now at the point of purchase. And is it right that at the time, what you mainly required was for a purchaser to upload a form of identification, like a passport or a driving license?
Exactamente, eso es lo que se
Exactly.
hacía.
That's what
Ahora
we did before.
se ha
Now
modificado y se
it's
hace.
been modified.
Could you ask Mr. Martinez not to go into what he does now? I want to concentrate on what he was doing in 2023, because we'll make better progress. I will give him an opportunity later in his evidence to talk about changes and improvements he has made. So, when somebody uploaded a driver's license or passport in 2023, was any check also being done on the British electoral roll?
En el 2023
In
lo que se
2023,
hacía o se tendría
what we
que
did,
hacer era
what we had to do was
recibir una prueba de,
receive a proof
¿cómo se llama?, del carnet de
of the driving
pasaporte,
license,
y
passport,
se comprobaba
and it was verified
en el electoral roll.
on the electoral roll.
Así es como eran
That's
las
how
instrucciones en la empresa.
the instructions are in the company.
In your statement, we don't need to put it on the screen, but it was paragraph 27, you said, since 2022, customers have been asked to provide proof of age, a driver's license or a passport, before submitting an order. Previously, the electoral roll was consulted. That sounds like you had stopped using the electoral roll after 2022. Is that correct?
Antes se utilizaba el registro electoral.
Before we used the electoral roll,
Utilizaba la
and
prueba
then
del
after
pasaporte
we used the proof of the passport or the driving license.
So you did stop using the electoral roll after 2022?
Pues no sabría decirlo.
I couldn't
Porque sé
say.
que se utilizaban las dos cosas.
I know that
Pero no
both
sé
ways
si
were used,
puede utilizarse ahora.
but
No se utiliza el registro electoral. Ahora se
I know
utiliza
that now
el
the
pasaporte,
electoral roll
el
is
carnet
not
de conducir y
used,
después la
but now
verificación de edad.
the passport
Cuando
used
nosotros
or the
entendimos
driving
que se
license.
utilizaba la verificación de edad a la entrega,
When we
es posible que
understood
se
that
dejase de
we needed the
todos
age
los
verification and
que se
delivery.
consultaba antes, pero hubo un momento en que quizá no,
There was
se
a
dejó de
moment.
consultar cuando
Pause.
teníamos
Pause.
la entrega, pasaporte y verificación de edad a la entrega.
So, could I ask him to continue from a phrase?
Yes,
Or,
of course.
phrase that I said was age verification on delivery.
So can you repeat what you were saying after, when we understood that we needed the age verification in delivery, there was a moment. What did you go on to say after that?
No sé cómo lo he dicho, pero lo que quería decir es
What I wanted to say was,
utilizaba el rol electoral,
we first used the electoral roll,
utilizaba
then
la licencia, la
the
comprobación del
driving
documento,
license and verification of the document,
puede ser,
and
no
could
recuerdo
be,
en qué momento se
but I
cambió,
can't remember
pues,
on the moment it
cuando
changed.
se
But,
contrató con
but when
Henderson,
it could have been when we
y
contracted
nosotros
Henderson,
hacíamos la verificación
and
legal con el
we
documento,
did the real
y la entrega
verification of the
se,
document,
pensábamos que se
but
hacía la
the
verificación
but,
de la entrega.
but the delivery
Anteriormente a
thought
eso,
that it was verified on
un órgano
delivery.
legislativo ahí, creo, y se hacía con el rol electoral.
I
Cuando
think it was done
nosotros
with the
empezamos
electoral roll when we started,
una cosa y otra, el rol electoral se siguió consultando.
when we did one thing or another, the electoral roll would continue to be consulted.
All right. Can you ask, please, Mr. Martez, answer this. Stick with what your company did. Forget about Henderson fulfillment for the moment. When a customer uploaded a driving license or a passport, did you yourselves do any check on that document to check that it was real?
Para chequear el documento sea verdad. No.
To check the
Teníamos
document
que
was
cuando nos
real.
entregaban el documento era un documento real. No
Yes.
sé, además desconozco que se pueda hacer
Well,
algún tipo de chequeo para
I'm not sure of anything that can be done to check that the document.
ver si es real o no.
Well, how did you try to spot if it was a fake?
No teníamos ningún medio para saber si
We didn't have any way of knowing if the passport was false.
el pasaporte, de hecho, no
Passport
lleva ni la dirección.
doesn't even have the address of the person.
So, however good or bad the document appeared, you just accepted it, did you?
Hombre, la apariencia era que es un documento.
The appearance was that it was an official document.
No tenemos
We
cómo
don't
comprobar
have a way to prove
que un documento puede ser
that a document
falsificado.
falsified.
I'm not asking about AR's driving license here. I'm asking more generally for customers as a whole. Did you do anything, even just a visual check, to see whether the document looked genuine or not?
Claro, el chequeo visual, por supuesto.
Sure.
El
Yeah,
chequeo
visually. Visual check.
El documento ese se subía
The document was uploaded.
de cliente y se guardaba en su ficha de
It was kept in the
cliente,
client's
el
file,
documento y se veía.
and
En el documento
the
aparentemente,
document appeared
a simple vista, pues
at
parece original.
first sight as an original.
Did you have any training in UK forms of identification to help you to spot those that may not be genuine?
Que si tenemos en el Reino Unido alguna forma de identificarlo? No.
That if we had any way in the UK, a way in which to identify them, no.
Did you use any online technology to help you identify if the identification was genuine?
No.
No.
If a customer, having been asked for identification, failed to provide it, did you do anything in terms of blocking that customer or even reporting them?
Si un cliente no se identificaba, hay muchos clientes
If a customer didn't
no
identify
se
themselves,
identifican porque
many clients didn't
simplemente están
identify them,
mirando o comparando precios o tal.
because they may be comparing
Eso pasa
prices,
allí y en
and it just goes
aquí
up to
también.
there.
O sea, todo el mundo al final no
Every,
compra.
and then
Entonces,
people
cuando un
don't buy in the end.
no se te identifica,
So
en
if
ese
the
sentido,
client
trata
doesn't
como desestimado,
identify themselves,
como que no lo quiere.
we take it as if they don't want.
Eso es habitual.
That's frequent.
Aquí, por ejemplo, en España,
Here
que
in
no hay que
Spain,
identificar al cliente ni qué tal,
if
es
the
muy
client isn't
habitual que
identified,
los pedidos se queden en el carrito
the
y no se
orders stay in the cart.
y no en España, sino de extranjeros.
And this happens in
Francia,
Spain
de
and
Holanda,
elsewhere,
donde
in
viven.
abroad,
Mucha
in
gente
France, wherever they live.
hace un
Many
pedido, genera
people
un pedido,
make an
si no
order,
llega a terminarlo,
but
no completa el pago, porque
if
no
they
se identifica. Por lo
if they
tanto, el
don't
pedido se da
carry it out,
por
they
abandonado,
don't complete the
por
payment because they don't
desistir.
identify them.
Yes, of course. But if a customer gets beyond that stage and they pay for the goods, but they haven't uploaded identification, and then they failed to upload identification, what did you do as a company in that case?
Cuando el cliente no cumple con
When the
la identificación,
client doesn't comply with the
el pedido
identification,
no se gestiona. Y si paga, se le hace la devolución
not
al cliente
managed, it's
que
not
no le
processed,
podemos vender porque es
cannot sell it
menor de edad,
because
en ese caso.
it's
Suele,
below the
eso sí
age.
que no,
In that case,
no es una cosa que suele pasar. Nos pasa a lo mejor
it's not a thing
ahora
that happens
porque
a lot
los envíos los hacemos
because
para personas mayores de 21 años.
we make our orders for people above the age of 21.
Entonces hay clientes que
So there
a
are
pesar de tener 18 o
clients
19 años,
that could be 18 or
dicen,
19.
mira, nuestras condiciones, tú para comprar puedes tal,
How so?
cumples el requisito de entrega.
But when that did happen, did you really just do nothing? You obviously you didn't sell the item, and you wouldn't ship it. But did you not block them, or report them? Did you do anything if they failed to prove their age, having tried to buy the item?
Cuando ellos compran
they
el artículo,
bought
no se
the
identifican,
item
no
and didn't
suben la
identify
documentación,
themselves and don't upload the ID,
el artículo no se sirve, se trata como
the
marcado,
article is not.
no se bloquea al cliente porque realmente
But we
no se
don't
bloquea, no
block
sabe
the
si es
client
mayor o menor de edad. No cumple
because we don't know if they're above
no
or
se
below
envía,
the age.
pero no se bloquea. Y
But
tampoco
it isn't sent, but it's not blocked.
All right.
no,
Have you ever rejected an order from the UK because you thought that an identity, a form of identification, was a forgery?
porque pensaba que una forma de identificación era falso.
Because I thought the ID was false.
Que
No,
no cumplía los requisitos o no se identificaba. Sí, porque tampoco hemos recibido ninguna sospecha de que cualquier documento que han presentado fuese falso. Y la experiencia que tienes de ver varios, pues si vas viendo y ver los carnés o ver los ese, pues comparación de uno con otro, pues dices, pues bueno, pues es verdadero, ¿no?
Pausa. For not supplying identification, yes, but not in terms of identifying anything suspicious because of its appearance when comparing it with others. And then there was a pause.
Our last witness, who was an online seller of knives based in the UK, told us that he had seen many examples of fake IDs being used, especially before the age verification laws were tightened up. Can you explain why you've never identified a single case of a fake ID being used?
Que yo lo recuerde, no.
That I remember,
No puedo haber identificado un caso ahora mismo.
I don't remember having identified
Si
a
hubiésemos
case of
identificado un
false
caso de
identity.
identidad falsa, pues lo hubiésemos puesto en conocimiento.
If we had identified a false ID, we would have,
No sé,
highlighted it.
tampoco te sé decir, pero hay un sitio donde se puede
There's a site where
poner estos casos. O hay un sitio
you can report
no
these
recuerdo
cases,
dónde, pero hay un sitio
but I don't remember where.
estos casos.
But I know where there is one in these cases.
Intenta o detecta que tiene
If you detect a false identity,
no hemos tenido ninguno.
but we've never
A lo
had a
mejor
case.
depende también pues del volumen de ventas que tenga
Maybe with the volume of
una tienda
sales,
y otra. A lo mejor si el
that there'll be one store or
nos
other
comentan que han identificado casos
that the people have commented
volumen de
that they've
ventas
identified
mucho
cases
más grande que nosotros,
that have sales much larger
tienen
than us,
muchos más compradores y muchos
and they have many more purchasers than us.
no somos nosotros los que tenemos un volumen de ventas más grande.
We're not the ones that have a large volume of sales.
How many bladed items do you think you sold to the UK in 2023, roughly? Knives, machetes, pocket knives, any type of knife. How many do you think you sold to the UK in the calendar year 2023?
Pues no sé, pues posiblemente entre 500 y
I
1000.
don't know,
No
possibly
podría decir la
between 500 and 1,000, I couldn't say,
pero ya a lo mejor me paso.
but maybe I've gone over.
One explanation might be that you were far too relaxed about whether identity information was accurate and genuine. What do you say about that?
Explícamelo otra vez que no he entendido eso de relajar.
Could you explain one more time? I couldn't understand.
One explanation for why you never had a case of noticing a fake identification is that you were far too relaxed about whether identity information was accurate and genuine. You didn't pay enough attention. What do you say about that?
Yo creo que se prestó la atención precisa.
I provided all the attention.
Lo que no se hacía lo que no hemos hecho nunca con un cliente es una investigación. O sea,
What we've never done before with clients is an investigation. If a client
vemos que no hay
doesn't have ID, we consider
¿qué me dice a mí que sea falsa o que no sea falsa?
what does that tell me whether
La
it's
cosa
false or
distinta es
not.
que haya un comprador que te suba
If
una
upload
verificación de
a, veri-
pasaporte, de
a
tal,
verification
como
of
que dice,
passport,
le falta un mes para cumplir la
we
edad.
check
Y digo, mira, es que no tienes la edad.
and we see that something's missing,
Argumentación falsa o no falsa,
like
no
it doesn't
creo que
have
sea porque haya una relajación,
age, but then
sino porque
with the false information,
tenemos otro medio de comprobarlo.
Right, I'm going to turn to a different...
we need a pause for the final part, please.
So can you just, Mr. Martinez, repeat where the translator got up to was if they upload a verification of a passport and we check and we see that something is missing, like it doesn't have age, but then with the false information, can you just continue just to the end of your answer?
No es que falte. O sea, cuando te suben una verificación de edad,
Not missing, it's
lo que ves
when they
ahí es el documento.
upload age.
Alguna vez han subido un documento que no cumplía con los requisitos de la edad. Eso sí, pero eso no es falso. O sea, un pasaporte cumple con la edad o no cumple con la edad, pero el pasaporte es verdadero. O sea, lo que pasa que ves, compruebas la fecha. Con la fecha de nacimiento no coincide con no eres mayor de 18 años. Pero no estoy hablando de que sea falso, ¿no?, el documento.
Pausa. I'm very sorry, Your Honour, but there was a lot of information and he needs to break it up one more time in short statements so I can accurately translate, please.
Mr. Martinez, the interpreter is having difficulty in translating your answers because you are giving very long answers without a pause. So I don't want to stop you, but please, if you go on beyond 3 or 4 sentences, please stop and let the interpreter catch up. I'm just going to ask you this. Is there anything else you want to say to explain why you can't remember a single case of a fake identification being identified by your company when you tell us that you may sell as many as 1,000 knives a year to the UK? Is there anything else you want to tell us to explain that?
No, yo lo que te he dicho es lo que
No, what I've said is
considero que se,
that I consider
lo que se hace.
that it's true what is done.
A different topic, please. You tell us in your statement that when a customer first accesses the website, a pop-up window appears explaining the age restrictions. Is that accurate?
¿Me lo puedes repetir? Porque es que estabais hablando los dos y cuando habléis los dos no os entiendo.
Oh,
Cuando habléis los dos.
Could you repeat that, because you were both speaking at the same time, and when you both speak at the same time, I can't understand.
You tell us in your statement that when a customer first accesses the website, a pop-up window appears explaining the age restrictions. Is that accurate?
Sí.
Yes.
When the inquiry team have accessed your website, that doesn't appear to pop up. Are you sure that it is functioning correctly?
Pues yo las veces que lo he comprobado
At the
funciona
times I've checked,
correctamente. Si hay algún problema,
it functions correctly.
concretamente,
If
no lo
there's
sé, pero cuando tú
if there's
accedes,
a problem, I don't know.
funciona correctamente.
But when you do it, it functions correctly.
Mr. Martinez, so that I am being fair to your company, I think you can confirm that you had some information about age restrictions on your website. Can we just have on screen HKAW 0000, so 4 zeros, 26. Could that just be enlarged so the text is able to be read? So this was information about age restriction, including that it is against the law to sell any kind of knives to individuals under the age of 18. And your company's words, we strictly adhere to this regulation. That was information on your website, would you agree?
Nosotros mandamos varias
We
capturas
sent
de pantalla
a lot of
y que se
screen
ponía
captures
la edad de
where
restricción.
where the
Una
age
era cuando se
restriction
entraba,
is.
otra era que hacía referencia a las
Some
dos,
made reference to both.
a las dos, a los términos de las leyes que están
To the
publicadas
terms of the law
en la página.
on
Y
the
luego
page, and
había otra,
also
que era,
another.
por ejemplo, cuando te
That
metías en
was
los artículos. Cuando tú te metías en un artículo antes de echarlo al
that's when you
carrito,
entered
podía
the
aparecer
product and it
la
appeared
edad de restricción. Hicimos
the age
esta y
restriction.
varias más de
And this
donde
way,
aparecían
and other ways in which it appeared
la edad de restricción.
the restriction age.
Cuando vas a comprar
When you're
un producto,
purchasing
no
a
aparece una vez,
product,
te aparece
it appears.
varias veces
It appears several times
antes de comprar.
and before purchasing.
Thank you. And next, HKAW 000027. This is another page from your website, this one dealing with UK knife legislation. And I think you can confirm that this attempted to summarize the main laws and a list of knives that were banned. Is that correct?
Sí, eso es correcto.
Yes, that's correct.
I want to turn to the delivery arrangements next, please. Could you just translate that? When we
no te he
asked you
entendido.
in your...
I haven't understood.
I want to ask Mr. Martinez next. My next subject is the delivery arrangements that were made by the company. So that's the next topic that I'm going to ask about. There's no question. Could you just explain that to Mr. Martinez, please?
Okay.
So when we asked you about the arrangements that were made for delivery, in your first statement, you didn't mention S.J. Henderson Fulfillment at all. Why was that?
Porque a mí me dijeron que
Because I was told
respondiese las preguntas
and
que
that
eran
to respond
concretas.
to the
Entonces yo
questions.
respondí a lo que
So I
correctamente me preguntaron.
responded
Había un
to the
cuestionario
questions that I was
y
totally
había que
asked.
responder sobre
There was
ese
a
cuestionario.
questionnaire and I had to respond
Cosas
to that.
se han dicho después o que
There's some
incluso
things that
las
have
puede
been
decir
said
ahora si se me
later
pregunta.
and inclusively now
Evidentemente no contesté
that
nada de
I evidently did not
fulfillment
answer
porque no se me preguntó.
because that wasn't asked to me.
We then asked you more questions about this when the company Whistle told us that they had delivered the packages on behalf of Ruach Music. And you then answered further questions, didn't you, about this in your second statement?
Sí, ahí en mi segunda
Yes. In my
declaración
second declaration,
preguntaron
they
concretamente por
asked me
los
totally
aspectos
all of the
estos
aspects.
y yo
This,
respondí lo
and
que
I answered
creía que era
because I thought it was
y
true
cómo pasó.
and how it
Pero
happened.
igual que en la primera
And
parte,
just as in the same
respondí
part,
a lo
I
que me
responded
preguntan.
to the questions asked.
All right. Now, you tell us that you signed a contract with S.J. Henderson Fulfillment in February of 2022. Is that accurate?
Sí,
Yes,
está aportado también.
it's recorded as well.
And you've provided a copy of that contract to the inquiry, haven't you?
Sí.
Yes,
You explain that you bought the merchandise from the company you mentioned earlier on, Grupo Marpasi. Is that correct?
Sí,
yes,
And that company delivered the products to S.J. Henderson, who would then arrange the deliveries.
Grupo Marpasi mandaba los productos
Grupo Marpasi
de
sent
wholesale
the products
en las instalaciones de SJG.
to the units of
Cuando lo
SJ
hablamos se le preguntó, en
when we
el
asked
correo incluso, yo creo que hay un correo por
by
ahí que
email.
está
I think there's an email
aportado,
that
y creo que lo aportó
and
SJ Henderson, donde se le
S.H.
preguntaba,
Henderson
o nos preguntaba cómo se
asked
hacía.
how it was done
Vamos, nos dio el ok de que así
and
era perfecto.
and told us that it was
Grupo Marpasi es
okay.
el que envía
Just
And
pause
that
there.
Grupo Marpasi was the one to send
Geo Wholesale.
to a
Realmente
Hail
cuando la mercancía llega allí,
wholesale. When the merchandise arrived there,
Geo Wholesale. Y
it was
Henderson la envía o la...
Can you ask Mr. Martinez to pause, please? Please ask him to stop. I want you to ask Mr. Martinez to listen to the question that I am asking and deal with that question and then pause. And we will come to other matters later. I only want an answer to my question, and I will give Mr. Martinez an opportunity to say anything else at the end that he wants to add. Now, when Grupo Marpasi sent the items to S.J. Henderson, were they already packaged up, ready to be onward delivered.
Grupo Barpasi enviaba los
Grupo
paquetes a
Barpasi
SJ
and
Henderson
the
empaquetados,
items to
no
S.J.
listos para ser
Henderson.
entregados.
I haven't seen anything about the
Porque
delivery
para ser entregados,
because to be
los paquetes
delivered,
lo que se mandaban
the packets that were sent
eran identificados.
were identified.
Pero
But
SJ Henderson tenía
S.A. Henderson
la etiqueta, poner la etiqueta,
the label
cumplir con la,
and to comply, to fulfill,
¿cómo se llama? Lo de decir que era
to
una
say
hoja lo que llevaba
that it
dentro.
was a bladed product inside.
Mr. Martinez is again going on to ask about S.J. Henderson. Please ask him to deal with my question honestly and directly. When Grupo Marpasi sent the items to S.J. Henderson, were they already packaged up, ready to be onward delivered?
No estaban empaquetados, listos para ser entregados. Estaban empaquetados, no listos
No,
para ser.
they weren't ready to be forwarded on. They were just packaged.
Can we look, please, at RUAM 508? Could that be rotated, please? And could we please enlarge the bottom nice big parcel? Mr. Martinez, we have blacked out the personal data, but this appears to show a whole box full of hunting and knives orders. This has been provided by S.J. Henderson, and it already has a label on for delivery with the name of the customer, the country, the postcode, the city, and the address, and the phone number, and return details for Agio Wholesale. So it does seem that the items were packaged up in a cardboard box and with a hunting and knives delivery label on. Would you agree?
La etiqueta no era la etiqueta de entrega, la etiqueta
That was not the
era la etiqueta
delivery
para
label.
identificar el
That
paquete.
was the label to identify the package.
Esos
Right. But it did come with all of those details on. It's taped up, it's packaged up, and it's got delivery details on a sticker on the front.
Claro. Tiene los datos para
It
que
has
ese
the
paquete sea
data
identificado, porque si no ese
so that they
paquete no
can
puede
be
ser
identified.
identificado para enviarlo.
Because
Esa
otherwise the
etiqueta
parcel won't be
tiene que
identified to be
sustituir o
delivered.
quitarla para ponerle la
Or
etiqueta
that label
de
has to be
Henderson.
taken off or
Pasa que si se mandan
substituted
los paquetes
by
empaquetados,
Henderson to send the
no le ponemos una
packaged
identificación,
items.
¿cómo sabe Henderson
How would
de qué
Henderson
paquete es
know
cada cliente?
what
Por eso lo
package
mandaban así.
was
Habían dos
destined
maneras
to each
estos
client?
que se enviaban pre
These were
preparados para
sent
envío
pre-prepared for the delivery.
Bueno, pero eso es otra
All right,
cuestión.
pause there. So you would expect that, for example, an additional label, something like the every delivery label, would then be stuck onto this box. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Claro, la etiqueta que se
Sure.
mandaba
The label sent was
para
this,
que Henderson
that
identificase
Henderson
el
could
paquete. Si no,
identify the
no lo
half
puede identificar.
packet.
Yes, you've
Otherwise
said
you
that.
won't be able to
That does not need to be repeated with respect. Do you remember the legal obligation that you had to ensure that the label did two things? First of all, that it said it's a bladed item, and secondly, that it was only for delivery to those aged 18 and over. Your company did not do that on the packaging that you sent to Henderson's, did you?
Nosotros no hacíamos eso en el
No, we don't
empaquetamiento
do
que
that, the
enviábamos a
packaging.
Henderson.
And do you understand that that was a duty which you owed? So if you were expecting Henderson's to do that, it was your duty to make it explicitly clear to Henderson's that they put on those details onto the package.
Eso es lo que entendíamos, que
That's
Henderson
what we
lleva la
understood.
etiqueta y lo
That,
tenía
that
escrito en el
Henderson would add a label with the details on the packet.
You say that is what you understood, but in all the exhibits that you have provided, you have not exhibited any instruction to Henderson's to say, put the label on that says bladed item and put a label on that says 18 plus. You didn't give them that instruction, did you?
Eso lo hablamos y se
We
lo
spoke about
hablamos por videoconferencia
on video
al principio del
conference
contrato.
at the
Cuando
start
hicimos
of
el
the
contrato,
contract,
eso
when we
es lo
made
que
the
hablamos
contract. That's what we
en la
spoke about
videoconferencia.
in the conference. Henderson
Y él
and I,
dijo,
he said to us
como empresa,
that here is
que se
a
dedicaba a
company
tal, sabía los
that
requisitos que tenía que
dedicated
cumplir
to this,
para enviar al
Yes.
that he would,
producto final.
he would
Eso es lo que hablamos.
deliver this final product, and that's what we spoke about.
Yes, but it was your duty. They are your arrangements. And if you are going to get somebody else to do it, you would have to be explicitly clear, not just an understanding that they knew what they were doing. It was your legal duty to make the arrangements, to say bladed item and age delivery 18 plus. Can you point to any clear instruction that you gave to Henderson, any clear instruction on those specific points that you gave?
En esos puntos específicos,
On those
cuando
specific points,
Henderson nos
Henderson
preguntó qué
asked
productos íbamos a
what
enviar,
products are we going to
se
send,
le dijo
and we told them
mayoritariamente
that they were,
cuchillos.
in the most part, knives.
Lo de la
Said
verificación de edad y lo de
the
la
verification of age and labeling.
Mr. Martez, I'm going to try once more. Please listen to my question. You may or may not have told them that they were knives. My question was whether you can point to anything that was a clear, explicit instruction to Henderson that you expected them to put labels on saying bladed item and age 18 plus. Did you give that clear instruction or not? It's a simple yes, no.
Sí, sí.
Yes.
I suggest that that is neither accurate nor true.
Pues eso es así.
It's like that.
Lo que no tengo es
What I don't have
manera de probarlo.
is a way to prove it. That's easy.
And I suggest that in not giving that instruction to Henderson, you were in clear breach of your legal duties. What do you say about that?
Repítemelo otra vez, que no te he entendido. que no
Repeat
te-
again, I could not understand.
Because you didn't give any clear instruction to Henderson about the labelling, you were, I suggest, in clear breach of your legal duties.
No, no es cierto. Se
No,
dio una
it's not
instrucción
true.
clara.
I gave him a clear instruction.
Mr. Martinez, if the learned chair of the inquiry will permit us, we will now take a break for lunch, perhaps for about 45 minutes, so if that's convenient to you.
We'll sit again at 22.